We'll start. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's session. Let's begin the session with 30 seconds meditation so that we can invoke the Divine Mother into our session today. Thank you. On behalf of Sri Aurobindo Society, also Bangalore, I am really grateful that Sri Dharanidhar Palji has taken this opportunity and given us this opportunity to actually grace us with his knowledge about Savitri with us today, and we thank him for taking out time to do this session for us today. A short introduction about Sri Dharanidhar Palji is that he is a Sadhak member and trustee of Sri Aurobindo Sri Kshetra, the largest ashram of Mother and Sri Aurobindo in Odisha, established in 1974 on a 200-acre land. He joined the ashram in 1984 after a short span of service in LIC, from which he resigned. He was a devotee of Sri Aurobindo since 1972. He was nominated in charge of Sri Aurobindo Sri Kshetra Ashram by Sri Ramakrishna Das, called respectfully as Babaji Maharaj, a prominent Odia Sadhak of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Pondicherry, who was to say the founder of Sri Aurobindo Sri Kshetra. Sri Dharanidhar Palji was previously invited by Savitri Musical Trust, Bangalore in 2016 to deliver his talk on Savitri. And also he gave a talk on Savitri at Alsor at the last time. He is also a regular contributor of Savitri Readers Foundation, Bhuvaneshwar. He writes regularly on Savitri in Sri Aurobindo Sri Kshetra WhatsApp group. Now I request Dharanidhar Palji to take over the session, and thank you once again, sir, for taking out time for us today.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Aurobindaya. Salute to the Supreme Lord, Sri Aurobindo, the last human avatar. Salute to the new Veda, the supramental Veda, Savitri, the autobiography of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, which is written symbolically using Savitri Satyavan episode as narrated by Rishi Markandeya in the Banaparva of Mahabharata. It is written according to the Vedic side. Sri Aurobindo has also given the symbolic interpretation of the Vedas in his work Secret Rishi Madhuchanda, Vaishwamitra, which starts from raising Agni, the inner soul, and inflaming his will, which burns upwards, assembles all universal gods, and meets the Supreme Sun, then brings down his absolute power into the physical, clears all intervening powers, and recovers the divine hidden at the bottom of the inconscient, and releases all his powers of perfection. Sri Aurobindo adds here the supramental power of the Supreme Sun Savitri and his active power, Surya Savitri, which will rescue Satyavan, the inner soul, from the clutches of death here on earth, and fulfills all his heavenly dreams to perfect earth and transforms what has fallen into its divine counterpart. Thus, an integral perfection will be achieved on earth and in the human being, his soul manifesting divine love, his mind manifesting absolute wisdom, Jyoti, his vital, manifesting the divine power, Tejas, and his body manifesting divine beauty and immortality. Thus, Savitri is a battle against darkness and ignorance, a battle against suffering and pain, a battle against falsehood, and a battle against death. Mother and Sri Aurobindo have won the battle by bringing down to earth the supramental consciousness, which is now active in the earth atmosphere since 1950, and is pursuing its act of transformation. They have attained victory at a certain level of consciousness and at certain areas, and now the ground battle is going on. Since the transforming light and love have manifested, it is strong in the symbol dawn, where Sri Aurobindo has blown his victory conch and welcoming all to join in this adventure. Actually, this dawn Sri Aurobindo is the first canto, is the entry point, is a gateway to Savitri. Savitri is the mother. Savitri is the supramental body. And this dawn Usha, so many Vedic rishis has invoked Usha. And as I told in Vaiswami, Madhuchanda Vaiswami, in his yoga, first he invoked Agni, the inner soul, then Indra, Vayu, then Mitravarna, then the Ashwinas, then Saraswati and his consort and her consorts, then Usha. Usha is the light of the soul. Usha is the power of the soul. Usha is the emissary of Savitri. Usha is the understanding. And see, her light is the light of the soul, where there is peace, universal equality, universal wisdom, universal divine power. She is the mediatrix. Savitri and we human beings, our human soul, Usha is the mediatrix. Usha is the understanding. So many Vedic rishis, they have invoked Usha. When Usha means the soul is released. The soul which is in the background is hidden within. It releases, it opens its chest, and the light it emanates. That is Usha. And she is a Devi, because the Westerners, they cannot, our Hindu gods and goddesses, they cannot understand. So it is called symbol dawn. So many rishis of the Vedas, they have, those who have invoked Usha, they are namely most the important ones: Praskanua, Kanua, Gothama, Kutsa, Angirasa, Kakhivan, Vamadeva, Vishwamitra, Bharadwaj. They are important rishis of the Vedas, and mostly Vasishtha has 5 to 6 Usha Suktas he has written. Is not written. He has seen those. They have seers. They have seen those mantras, the Vedic rigs, which is coming down from the upper hemisphere. So this Usha is a Devi. It's just not symbol dawn, but dawn is a goddess, and we must open to her. We must first welcome her, and she will take us to Savitri. What is the whole of Savitri will open before us. She's the daughter of the sun. She's the goddess of the supreme truth, the supramental truth. And she's the divine word, the mantra. She's the ring. She's the shaman. She's the judges. She's the divine word which reveals itself. So this is the great importance of the symbol dawn. that she's a baby, she's a goddess, she's a living entity. In this way, we welcome Usha. We open to her. Now entering into symbol dawn. The physical dawn is used as a symbol for the spiritual dawn, which is the manifestation of a new knowledge, new consciousness, new power, new form of beauty. Oh, here is the city of dawn. Exceptionally, a new creation, a new relationship of love, and a new beginning on earth, a new form of beauty. The 150th birth anniversary intensifies the action of such forces. We shall be merging with Savitri from dawn to the eternal day of perfection, that is, to the supreme spiritual sun, to the supreme divine. So Savitri has 12 books, like the 12 months of the year. The first book is the book of beginning, of which the first canto is the symbol dawn, and the first line is, it was the hour before the gods awake. Almost all the Upanishads, as in the Veda, there is called in the 10th mandala, there is a Nasadiya Sutta. I will put some verses. It is the Rishi is Prajapati Parameshwar. What was how the creation began? What was the beginning? No asat asit, no sat asit tadanim, nasit rajo, no byumu paroyat, kim avariva huha kasya saramanna ambahakimasit gahanam gahiram. Non-existence. Asat means non-existence. There was not. Nor existence means sat. Neither the principle of movement nor space there beyond were covered over all. But that is ever evil. And where? And what was any resting place? What were the waters? There was only fathomless abyss. So this was in the Nasadiya Sutta of the 10th mandala of Rig Veda. Even in the Upanishads, every Upanishad says how the creation began. So similarly, in the first line of Savitri, it begins, it was the hour before the gods awake. The gods are beings of light. Their nature, their body, their being, everything is made of light. There is lightness, there is vision, there is knowledge, there is awareness, there is consciousness. When gods are not born, then there is darkness. What is unmanifest from our side, what is unmanifest is not known to us. We are unable to see. And we have on the earth, we have evolved from the inconscient. That is also dark. So it was the hour before the gods awake, across the path of the divine event, which is the creation, the huge foreboding mind of light. The gods have the mind of light, but there was this mind of night alone in her unlit temple of eternity, lay stretched immobile upon silent Mars. A fathomless zero occupied the world. This was the beginning, means the unmanifest above and the inconscient below. So definitely we need the help of Usha. She will lead us towards the light. I am just quoting those lines which Mother has selected, important lines, in the symbol dome. Athwart the vain and enormous trance of space, which is totally silent and dark, a formless stupor without mind or life, a shadow spinning through a soulless void, thrown back once more into unthinking dreams, art word abandoned in the hollow woods, forgetful of her spirit and her fate. So when creation is beginning, in the material creation, earth was also inconstant, like a dark shadow. Then something in the inscrutable darkness, sky, a nameless movement, an unthought idea, insistent, dissatisfied, without a name, something that wished but know not how to be. Teased the inconstant to wake ignorance. Though there was darkness, though there was silence, whatever has come out from the divine is there, hidden within what he has created. So then something, what is that something? The divine himself, his absolute presence, means the action of light from above, where there is the eternal Savitri. The action from above has stand. And the hidden consciousness, the soul at the bottom, are within. It is though fallen to earth nature, fallen into inconstant, but once then that's something, then something in the inscrutable darkness, sky. So it wants to become conscious, it wants to reveal its nature. So it is tiring, even in this inconstant, a nameless movement. So it is very tiring, a nameless movement, an unthought idea. The idea, the I is capital. The idea comes from where? It is the divine idea. Insistent, dissatisfied, without an aim, something that wished but knew not how to be. He wants to regain its status or reveal itself, but doesn't know how to do it. Tease the inconstant to wake ignorance. This is the action of light. This is the action of Usha, the mediatrix. An unset consciousness desired light, and a blank presence yearn towards distant change. It doesn't want to stay all along in the constant. Inconstant must become constant, must become true, must become delightful, must become full of power. As if a childlike figure laid on a chick reminded the endless need in things, the heedless mother of the universe, an infant longing clasped the slumber first. The will of the divine, the will of the soul, that's something. It organizing around itself. What must be done? So Earth Mother also, where there is inconscience, Earth Mother gets organized. She's taking form, preparing the surroundings. Arrive from the other side of boundlessness. An eye of deity pierced through the dawn disk, a scout in a reconnaissance from the sun. It seemed amid a heavy cosmic rest, the torpor of a sick and weary world where we are now, this earth, to seek for a spirit, soul, and desolate, too fallen to recall a forgotten bliss. This is the descent of light And the eternal Savitri, our mother, she responds to the call. Then some select lines. All can be done if the God is there. The eternal Savitri, the transcendent Savitri, if she looks at us, if she touches us, all can be done. A hope stolen, hardly there to be. And if the night's fallen indifference, into a far-up nook of heaven, there came a slow, miraculous gesture, be not filled. The mother is calling, come on, come to me, rise up. A helping hand of light. So, you know, as God said, their beings of light, their body is made of light, their nature is divine nature. So whether Usha or Savitri, when they will come to help us. Their helping hand is a helping hand of light, light that is consciousness. So a wandering hand of pale enchanted light, that hand is a hand of light that is full of divine power, divine bliss, divine substance. When she comes to help us, she comes with all this that glowed along a fading moment's breath. First, with gold panel and opalescent hinge, a gate of dreams, azar on mystery's birth, one Lucian corner, windowing hidden things, forced the world's blind immensity to sight, as if we are imprisoned here in the unconscious. And the mother's very touch, it teared apart the covering. The darkness held and slipped like a falling cloth. This is what miracle happened. The divine touch, the God touch, the touch of Usha, the touch of Savitri. From the reclining body of a god, darkness fell and slipped. This is the divine help, the divine grace, the divine gift of AUROBINDO. A glamour from unreached transcendences from the eternal Savitri. Iridescent with the glory of the unseen. Sees the unseen. And the beauty is iridescent, full of colors, multiple colors. A message from the unknown immortal light. Savitri, the light for knowledge, is immortal light, that blazed upon creation's quivering edge, dawn built her aura of magnificent hues, and buried its seed of grandeur in the arms. It is just not an event, a time phenomenon, a physical event. She brings with her a new manifestation, an epiphany. Dawn built her aura, something new, something beautiful, something exceptional going to happen on earth. I'm here to quote. There are a lot of seers whom I have named already, that they have written the Usha Sukta. And I will just recite one rig of Kutsa Angirasa, which is open quoted by AUROBINDO. Idam sreshtham jyotisam jyotihi avat chitraha adanishta vidva chitraha prakito adanishta vidva yatha prasuta savitu shavayam eva ratri ushasi jonim arim. This excellent light, fairest of all lights, has arrived born those far-extending and many hued rays of knowledge. It's just not a physical light. Even Usha, born of night. And mysteriously, Sister Yamini, she sees the night that gives birth to Usha, that is Jyoti Prakash. And from Jyoti Prakash, I am going to our Lahiri Sahib, Suhanka. Everything is auspicious. The Usha, whatever Usha brings to us, is auspicious. And this spreads forth on earth. Even as Usha won't give birth to the sun, Usha will give birth to Savitri. The night gives birth, as the night gives birth to the dawn. The 20 such verses of Usha Sutta of Kutsa Angirasa. In substance, Usha brings to us the birth of knowledge. She opens the door, as I said, this symbol dawn opens the door to Savitri, is the gateway to Savitri. And she comes with different vocations. She's sovereign of all riches, as the Usha Sutta of Kutsa speaks about. She even can awaken the dead. Usha Mritam Kanchana Bodhayan. Work has service to God. Tad Devi Suchakruse Bhadram Matma. As there were ancient dawns, there are also future dawns. She comes with the advent of truth. Ruthaja. Makes the days to progress. Atho Vivchat Uttarana Anudyona. Awakens the world, the whole world. Prabodhayam. Models of the dance. Gives life energies. She comes with life, a new life energy that will make us immortal. She shines the word in us, the word mantra. Prasastikruta Brahmanenu Vivcha. And our soul has emerged by her very touch. Our soul will come forth, will release itself and will come forward. Jivo Ashuhuna Aga. Shine and us a long life. Mahoni Asme Ayaha Ni Dadahi. And mostly, this is the capacity for work, divine work, that will transform us. Jatchitram Matnausha. Just I give a little example of how Kutsa invoked Usha to take him to the Supreme Shan, her role in the sadhana. Similarly, the symbol dawn, which is the trailer, is the gateway, and also in brick it gives what Savitri is, the whole of Savitri in brick. So we'll go how Usha came. Unlike thin border, while the vision still. She came with a light, with a vision. What will happen? What is the future? And bent over, our pondering forehead curve. Whatever our problems, why we are so much puzzled, she's going to erase everything. Once more, the eternal Savitri came down as an avatar. Here on earth, once more a trade further the vacant past. Infinite center, a face of rapturous sky. Our mother, our divine mother. She is Savitri. She is mother-in-law. She is the universal mother. She is the transcendent mother. She is the mother in the individual form. Parted the eternal lids that opened heaven. A phone from far beautiful sent to near. She comes with all that is great and heavenly. Ambassadress to eternity and change. Eternity is all above our head, and the earth is a ground of change, from inconstant to the superconstant. That wrap the fitted journeys of the stars. There is a star within us, everybody. There is Satyavan within everybody. There is a sun within everybody. The sun from which we control all our suns. That sun is the eternal Savitri. And our future is fated. We do not know what will happen the next day, or even today. That wrap the fated journeys of the stars and saw the spaces ready for our king. Once we call the mother, we surrender to the mother, we open to the mother. A space is open for her to come down, to respond, to take possession of us. As happens in the individual to the individual, so to the earth. Earth felt the imperishable spaces close. The waking year of nature are our space. Here everything is struggling. Our helping hand comes down, and Savitri herself comes down as the avatar to help us directly, openly, face to face. The waking year of nature caught her steps, and wideness turned to her into limitless fire, and scattered on soul depths her luminous smile. Her smile spreads that rays of wisdom, rays of power, rays of delight, rays of new substance, and scattered on soul depths her luminous fire that spreads the seeds of life, seeds of new creation, kindled to fire the silence of the world. Divine activity sprouted all over. All grew. What is the divine way of doing things? We offer everything to the divine. This sense of sacrifice and surrender and offering. We hear ordinary human beings, we do everything for to satisfy our desire, the egoistic will. But a yogi, the soul, he is of the divine, lives for the divine, and is guided by it. So here, the very influence and action of Saraswati, her very coming down to earth, all grew a consecration and a rite. All life activities is an offering to the divine. Air was vibrant link between earth and heaven. Air stands for light energy. The wide-winged hymn of a great priestly wind. Savitri's mantra, and his line is charged with a light, with the presence of the mother. So long we are not identified with that light and presence. Mother says nobody has understood Savitri except her. So long we have not discovered that light, not identified with that, we have not really understood. The wide-winged hymn of a great priestly wind arose and fell upon the altar hills. The high boughs spread in a revealing sky. Everything is now opening. Next. Here, now we ordinary human beings, where we are, and what Savitri wants to offer to us. Here, where one knows not even steep in front, and truth as I have thrown on the shadowy back of doubt. On this anguished and precarious field of toil, outspread beneath some indifferent gaze, a powerful witness to our joy and bell, our prostrate soil bore the awakening ray. Our fallen human state and how it bore the soil, the earth, bore the awakening ray. The excess of beauty natural to Godkind couldn't uphold its claim on time when eyes too mystic real for space and unseen. Her body of glory was exposed from heaven. The rarity and wonder lived no more. There was the common light of earthly day. She almost equated herself to her earth and its problems. All sprang to their unvarying deviates. We human beings who couldn't understand that higher things, we soil everything, mix everything, come down and pull everything to our level. All sprang to their unvarying deviates. The 1,000 people of the soil and tree obeyed the unposing instant urge, and leader here with his uncertain mind alone who stares at the future's covered face, man lifted up the burden of his fate. With the people of the 20th century or the 21st century, we work, we struggle with our mind. And Savitri to our walk, our way among the stripes. This avatar Savitri. Yeah, she's also one with us. That hastened to join the brilliant shaman's child. Must come back. How that new idea, new vision has declared the possibility of man rising to God nature, to the divine. That is the work of Savitri, the avatar. A narrow movement on time's deep abysm, life's fragile littleness denied the power. The proud and conscious wideness and the bliss she had brought down with her into the human form, the calm delight that weds one soul to all, the key to the flaming doors of ecstasy. Savitri has come with these things, but we are not yet conscious, we have not yet collaborated, we have not yet recognized. Earth's grain that needs the sap of pleasure. Yes. We people, ordinary people, were guided by our desire. We are now lacking. When something wrong happened, we cry, we are crying, this up and down. Rejected the undying raptures womb offered to the daughter of infinity, her passion power, love and doom-seeking, rather than misused. Mortality, our human nature, tuned to the stripes. Mortality bears ill the eternal touch, inflicting on the heights the abysm's flow. When somebody has come as a human being, we think is just a human being like us. It follows with its Maya, heaven's messengers. We misbehave, even the divine personalities. As turns of fallen nature at the defense, it turns against the savior hands of grace. Savitri has come with the savior hands of grace. The divine grace. It makes the sons of God with faith and faith. Thus trapped in the gene of earthly destinies, but Savitri will not retreat. Savitri will not. Her mission is to transform the earth. Thus trapped in the gene of the earthly destinies, awaiting her audience hour and order, outcast from her inborn felicity, accepting life's obscure terrestrial robe, hiding herself even from those she loved, the Godhead created by a human faith. She will not succumb to human faith, though accepted all human problems and all these human phalanx. But she is to fight with that. She is to suppress that. Against the evil that lies afflicted roots, the inconstant that is there, the vritra that is there, the adverse forces that are there, her own calamity strives shine, of her pangs she made a mystic poem and showed. Savitri is here to fight against those adverse forces, the being of falsehood, the being of death, the being of suffering, and the being of darkness. At the summons of her body's voiceless call, her strong, far-winged spirit traveled back to the yoke of ignorance and fate, back to the labor and stress of mortal days, lighting a pathway through strange symbol dreams, across the ebbing of the seas of sleep. Savitri accepted all human problems, again fighting against those intervening forces, to win the victory of the divine here on earth. So here, there were also lines from Savitri. Fate, art, fate, doom. We want an immortal life on earth. It's not possible. Yet, we love, but our love doesn't last. And there is an uncertainty, a fate, because so far we are not fully conscious. We have not got the supreme wisdom. So everything is half met. Savitri has come down to bring the interior perfection, the divine perfection, and to establish here on earth. So she's there to fight. She's doing sadhana for the whole earth, immobile in herself. She gathered force. This was the day when Satyavan was there. This is the end of the first canto. So this is the issue, that Satyavan, her lover, is the sacrifice of the Purusa and the sacrifice of the Prakriti. Satyavan is the divine, he is the eternal soul in man, the divine soul in man, the symbol. And the soul is there within everybody. But the physical body has not yet been transformed, has not yet come under the hold of the truth being. There is still falsehood. There is still suffering, falsehood, darkness in matter, in this body. So this is the issue. And this issue will be solved by Savitri. Savitri's mission is this: to rescue Satyavan from the process of death and to establish divine life on earth. And this is her part. And this is the challenge. And as I said, Savitri opens us before us a new future. And a certainty that earth will be divinized. Man will be transformed into the Superman. Mind will be transformed into the Supermind, the luminous mind, the luminous body, the luminous vibrance, the luminous being. This is the certainty, and Savitri going to attain this for mankind, to win this victory, to face this challenge. This is what she will do. And this is what Usha, she's the messenger. She brings this message to us. Be not hopeless. She brings us with hope. Each Usha Sutta is wonderful. And I request that we must know what our answers is. Sri Aurobindo has told that 6 rishis, they have attained such siddhis which must be repeated over and over again. He selected found out 6 rishis. Those rishis were their Surat shape. Another is Kanwa, Kanwa Gora, Gautama, Atri, Angira Sakutsa, and Kakiva. They have done such wonderful sadhana. And what they have achieved in different angles, it must be repeated again and again by lateral sadhanas. So this is in nutshell, and I have also, okay, this is a simple introduction. What do I get importance to the symbol Dawn? That she's Usha, she's a goddess. And in that way, if we love Savitri, love Usha, invoke Usha, she will help us to go forth, to unravel the rest of the mystery that is Savitri, the supramental goddess. And so I selected this topic. This is the doorway. If the first button is at the right place, rest will fall, rest will go well. So let us invoke Goddess Usha, the messenger, the mediatrix, the ambassadress. So let me stay here. Thank you all those who are on the, all brothers and sisters, those who are listening to me online. Then we can go for, if there anybody has to put a question.
Any questions from anybody? Yamini? Yamini, any questions you have, or anybody else has posted any questions to you? Mr. Ashok?
Yes, sir.
Is there any problem, Mr. Ashok, about any communication?
Yes, sir.
No, is there a problem in the Yamini's communication system? I know something has happened in the communications. Right. I think I don't find there are any questions. If there are no questions, then I think we'll conclude the session here. Yamini, you are back?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir. Muted.
Right. I think there are no questions being raised. Or if there are any, he can take it forward. I had requested him to take the question and answer, leaving some time to take questions and answers. I would like to add something, Yamini, if you say.
Yes, sir. Please, please. It will be nice if you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful time hearing Dharanidhar Babu. Anything said about him is utterly insufficient. I've been very closely following him, and I have been in touch with him, and I have great reverence for him. His selfless dedication to work at Dali Joda near Cuttack is unbelievable. And it's very rare to have someone who is so drenched in Sri Aurobindo's philosophy, so drenched in Savitri and be whatever it is, and in Vedas, that it's rare to hear such a person. We are extremely thankful to have you, Dharanidhar Babu. I can't tell you how fortunate we are, and many people may not know how fortunate they are that they have heard you, and especially this Canto 1, the symbol dawn of Savitri, is ranked perhaps as the most difficult of all the cantos because of subtleties involved, because of significance behind the significance that is built in, the utter darkness and the present darkness, all that is built into this, and it flows right from the Rigvedic suktas. And that is what the author has also said. Sri Aurobindo has said in author's note also. And so he has brought that in very beautifully in such a short period, so that we all have benefited immensely. As we have been discussing in our sessions, that without the knowledge of Veda and the life divine, understanding Savitri is perhaps is a futile attempt. You will only tick it as having read, but we would not have gone into it. So we must immensely thank Dharanidharji for giving us time and speak with us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for gracing this place and gracing this occasion, even though it was virtual. Next time, we will have you here again.
When I have gone like by him in according to the impressed, I met him at his residence and talked to him that I have not much money, yet I persist. The Untitled sets, when I came back here, I immediately sent the rest of money and brought all the letters from him. Though I have read Aurobindo's Secret of the Vedas, I have the test of the things, so I want to study in detail. Of course, so far I have not gone very much into all those books, but I almost have a bird's eye view and his writers. I have gone through since I have read Aurobindo. It's not difficult because he has quoted Aurobindo and translated everything according to Aurobindo's central thoughts. So please invite him to explain all the Usha Sutras. There's the 10 rishis I have quoted, Vasistha. Let him take a session of the all Usha Sutras. Let him explain. And he's an adept on the Vedas. And let him, so that the symbol will be more clear. And how the rishis have seen, and how Usha is a goddess. And how Usha brings all those treasures of heaven to earth, and how it leads us towards the supreme divine, was the transcendent divine, what Sri called the supramental Godhead, the supreme sun, and there are 7 suns of the supramental. When the earth and the body will be transformed, the whole Sri writes about Ashwapati, his whole body became a single sun. So this we have known the physical sun, but the spiritual sun, the vital sun, mental sun, the physical sun, but there is a supramental sun, and the soul is also a sun. So from Usha to the sun in the spiritual ascent, and also the descent, how to bring down that solar consciousness, solar power down into matter, and to the recovery of the lost hearts and the lost sun and the Marthanda, and there is the sun hidden in the cell. That the sun hidden, even behind that consort, and the ultimate victory is to fight out all the adverse forces and to recover the lost sun and the lost hearts, the lost life, lost wealth, the divine wealth by which the new body will be built.
That's right.
So this thing, so let you invite him to your session, or let it be online. Let him explain all Usha Sutras of Vasishtha, of Gautama, of I could have read all this because I thought I may not, it will be too long, I cannot finish. So I could have read all the Usha Sutta of Kutsa Angirasha. And his 20 verses are very open quoted by Sri AUROBINDO, and Sri AUROBINDO has been translated. And also there is in the Life Divine. So I could have read all those things, but I thought it will be, I will not be getting time to finish.
Yes, that's true.
Always when I speak, I always speak 1/3, or 2/3, rest 1/3 remains. And so I apprehended I may not finish. But since he is such an eminent person, he is also there in the 53 list of the Prime Minister's selection for the 150th anniversary to celebrate this 150th anniversary, birth anniversary. Is a person one among them. You can invite to your session. Let him explain all these Usha Sutras. So that will charge and make our interest more. And if you understand Usha Sutta, then everything will be good. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is the Usha Aniruddha episode. You know this. There is the Vedic interpretation, the Upanishadic interpretation, and the Puranic interpretation. And the essence is the same, but it is spoken in different ways so that people of different heights can understand. What can be spoken to the yogis? What can be spoken to the intellectuals? What can be spoken to the common man? Indian genius has so beautifully placed things in different versions. So what I have left over about the Nasagya Sutta, about the creation, the 10th mandala, and about the Usha Sutras, and all about the sun, the spiritual sun. You can phase-wise cover all those things.
That's right. Very true, sir.
It's interesting, sir, because in the Secrets of the Veda, there is a chapter called Saraswati and Her Consorts.
Yes.
Which where Usha is one of her consorts.
No, her consorts are different. Usha is a bit higher. The consorts of Saraswati, Ila Saraswati Mahi, Dakshina. Consort means Saraswati basically, as in the Vedas is narrated. Sri AUROBINDO has spoken about Maha Saraswati, is still greater. But Saraswati, as portrayed in the Vedas, she is the mother of intuition. And there are 4 aspects of intuition: discrimination, revelation, inspiration, and intuition. It has 4 channels. Revelation means certainly, we in the intellect, we ponder, maybe like this, like that, we contemplate, we compare, we associate all the functions of intellect and reason. But intuition is something beyond reason. Something from the soul reveals itself. Certainly, without much calculations, pondering this, that, thinking this, that. Certainly, just like a light ring in the sky, the soul reveals spontaneously and immediately what's the truth. The intuition is a higher faculty. and that the Devi and these goddesses, Aurobindo had seen these goddesses while he left before leaving for Pondicherry at Chandanagar. He could see all those Vedic deities. Later, he could know that they are Vedic deities. Then he was much interested in the Vedas and went deep into the Vedas. And by his supplemental consciousness, he could know all the secrets of the Vedas. So anyway, they are called deities. Say suppose I say revelation, intuition, inspiration. Saraswati basically is mother of inspiration. Whether you are a poet or a scientist, the higher things comes down, just like a river, just like a ravine is flowing down from higher level to our lower lands. Just like as the river flows, inspiration flows from higher word. So Mother Saraswati is basically mother of water, 7 waters, 7 rivers, 7 oceans. So there are so many symbolism and how the forces, how the knowledge, it flows down. And those who are open and surrendered and have right instrument, they get it. So 4 consorts means Ila. Ila means illumines. Reveals, revelation is Ila. So there's a deity. She's a deity. Ila is a deity. And Saraswati, Mahi is a deity.
Yes.
Dakshina is a deity. Discrimination. Suppose just a swan. If you put water and milk, I'm speaking very physical interpretation that how the swan will drink the milk and eat the water. This is the discrimination. And the soul for the swan for the soul. It can discriminate what is truth and false. Just not water and milk, but it can discriminate what is truth and what is false. So these are the concepts of Saraswati. Saraswati has 4 concepts, 4 devis, having 4 faculties, divine faculties, divine powers, spiritual powers. But again, she is mother of 7 rivers. Saraswati is quite vast. And most of the observations, they also invoke Saraswati. Saraswati is Saraswati. This is, Saras, just like it's a lake. It's the lake of the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of creative knowledge. And Saraswati is mother of works, mother of intuition, mother of discipline, mother of perfection, mother of transformation, mother of new creation. So Sri Aurobindo's Mahasaraswati, she has lifted Mahasaraswati to still higher heights. When the 4 powers of the mother will be harmonized, then only one can be aware of the Supreme. So it is okay.
Okay, so thank you so much. I mean, it's a beautiful, simile to say the soul is the swan. I mean, it's beautiful. That is.
Yeah.
If anybody else has a question, Meenaji, you have any questions, then we can take it up. Okay, so sir, would you like to do the?
I've already done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll close the session, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking out time for us and doing this session. We look forward to having you in the Bhavan next time. When you come to Bangalore, we'll have a session with you in the Bangalore Bhavan.
No, we'll get him for us only. We'll
Yes.
get you for us only.
Yes.
Once he comes to Bangalore, we'll get him.
Yes.
I hope you undertake travel, isn't it, sir?
Okay.
Do you undertake travel these days?
Very rare.
Very
We
rare.
are almost in this. I can check it out.
But your gallery there has come up wonderfully. This new gallery with the photo gallery that you have inaugurated recently.
Yeah.
It has come up beautifully.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you everybody for being part of this program today, and we'll look forward to having you in the next session. Thank you all. Have a great day.